NBC has formally suspended Billy Bush on the Today Show after his comments and his participation in the Trump video. So today, executive producer Noah Oppenheim has said there is simply no excuse for Billy's language and behavior on that tape. He hosts the third hour of the Today Show, and he has been suspended pending further review on the matter. Now, just to fill in everyone, let's roll the tape of Billy's participation in the infamous Trump tape.
We're ready. Let's go. Make me a soap star.
How about a little hug for the Donald? He just got off the bus.
Like a little
Okay,
hug,
absolutely. Melania said this was okay.
I just got off the bus.
Bushy.
There we go. Excellent. Well, you've got a nice co-star here.
So that's the part that's not talked about enough. Everybody talks about the horrific things that Trump said on the bus. But on the day that we covered it, when it broke on Friday, I said the thing that actually disturbed me the most is when they got off the bus, because then they made all that talk real. Before you could have said, hey, they're joking, they're not really going to grab people and stuff. But they get off the bus and immediately Billy Bush is like, go hug him, right? Because they're just talking about how they grab women. And then he's like, oh, come hug me. And I was like, oh, you creepy perv. And then that also made me think, like, that's why some women are skittish about hugging guys and stuff, because there's guys like that out there who's thinking like, oh yeah, she's so effing hot and I'm gonna go. And they're like, and then takes an innocent hug and makes it pervy and creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I thought Bush came out looking terrible.
Let me get your reaction, because Billy Bush has issued an apology, and I want to read it out for you and see what you guys think about it. So basically said that I was embarrassed, that he's very sorry, but he also cites that he was, it's no excuse, but this happened 11 years ago. I was younger, less mature, and acted foolishly in playing along. I'm very sorry. Just to note, Billy Bush was 33 years old at the time of this video. So that's basically your age, Brett. And I find it very difficult to imagine that you would have encouraged behavior like this. So I don't buy this apology, I have to be honest. Saying that he was less mature, to me it's such a cop-out. But I wonder, did this hold up for you guys?
So it's a mixed bag. Look, a lot of guys have done a lot of stupid things when they're younger. I'm among them. So part of me is like, all right, dude, how long are we going to hold it over the guy's head? On the other hand, well, we haven't really hung it over his head much at all. It just started, right? And so I think the more important point here is it who he is? Or was he just being a dumbass on that particular day, which happens to a lot of people, right? But another part that really bothered me, which goes to who he is they're on the bus and Trump is saying all these outrageous things and Billy Bush is egging him on. And at one point, Trump says something about one of the women they see on the road, I think. And Billy Bush says,
Yes, the Donald has scored.
Like, yes, the Donald has scored, and gives him a high five. But the Donald didn't score. He just leered at a woman as they were going on the bus together. And like that kind of solicitous attitude is like, oh, it's like revolting to me. Like, oh, you're a celebrity. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
The Donald is scored by looking at a chick. Yeah.
That's a scary good impression of Billy Bush.
The best comparison I've seen, my friend Lindsay Weber retweeted one of her friends' things that was LeFou. I don't know if you remember Beauty and the Beast, but Gaston's friend LeFou. The one who's like, you're so great at spinning, Gaston. Like, you're the best. Everything you do is perfect. That's what it is. And I said on the show the other day, like, there was that time when Britney Spears kissed Madonna, and everyone talked about it. So that's like Bush. Or not Bush. That's Donald is like the Britney Spears, taking the brunt of it. And Billy has really wanted to be Christina Aguilera, because Christina was also there. People just don't remember it. He wants it to go away. But I think this has to do with behind the scenes at the Today Show. Billy Bush shows up, and people don't like him on that stage. And he seems like he's the kind of person who's being very opportunistic in the face of a shrinking Today Show crowd, and seeming like they were kind of angling toward Willie Geist, kind of inside TV there, and he was the one from Access Hollywood Live who's like, let me on that show, and doing everything possible to get in there. And his on-camera personality is that stinker who has no filter and will say and do the crazy thing. And the question on everybody's mind when they watch it, I mean, I talked to my mom and I talked to other people who watch the Today Show, they're trying to figure out what he's like, because maybe he's just off-putting and genuinely like a really creepy person. And when you see this video come out, those people who were the undecideds seeing Billy just show up for the first time on the Today Show, they look at it and go, I could do without him. And there's sources inside the Today Show that are saying he's never going to be on that show again.
Look, the guy drives me crazy, but again, I have mixed feelings. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Look, Billy Bush is exactly the kind of guy I can't stand. Like an insider bro. Remember, he's Bush's nephew, right? George W. Bush's nephew. And why does he have these incredibly high-paying jobs? He's got a big. Remember, Chelsea Clinton had a really high-paying job with NBC too. I think the story, like she did like 4 minutes in 1 year and got paid $500,000.
Jenna Bush was a correspondent.
That's right. And so this is like, it's gross to me. Like, these are the royalty of our, but we're not supposed to have royalty in America. Oh, you've got a big last name, Bush. All right. And then he's this guy. High five, Donald. Donald scores. I'm Billy Bush. Yeah. I can't stand that guy, right? So anything bad that happens to him, good. In his career, yada, yada.
Yeah.
The world could use less of Billy Bushes. Now, why mix? Because I feel like at the same time, he's a little bit of a scapegoat. The whole industry is, hey, Donald scores. That's all access Hollywood. It's in the name. They sell out for access. They brag about it. They put it in the title of the show. So don't pretend like it's just a Billy Bush problem. That's how all of this is built. Not just entertainment, but all of media. You're dying for access. So you go and you're solicitous and obsequious to so-called stars like Donald Trump, and you encourage their worst behavior, and that's how you get access to them. So the entire industry is a little at fault here. It's not just Billy Bush.
And I think with these kinds of things, you have to suspend them immediately, especially on the Today Show, which had so much drama and the fallout with Ann Curry trying to get her out of there, and it'll die down. It'll go away, and he'll have another opportunity, the same way you see Brian Williams show back up on MSNBC literally at midnight. And then they'll work their way back into the mainstream, because I think the American public, as a viewing public, gets angry when this kind of stuff happens, but they're also very forgiving. And there's so much that we're inundated with that we forget the initial sting very quickly.
I agree with you, Brett, but I just hope that while of course, being forgiving is, commendable, of course, I just hope that we still call into question, like what you were saying, Cenk, we've created this media. Billy Bush is a product of what we have, said that we like. We like all access. We like that. So he's been, rewarded for blowing smoke up people's asses for so long, and finally he just picked the biggest ass of all to blow smoke up, and now we're all shocked. But he is a product of exactly what we have said we want from the media, or what the media is feeding us in this sort of symbiotic relationship. And I hope that while it's okay to be forgiving, I don't think that Billy Bush is a terrible guy. I think that we still need to call into question what sort of behavior we are encouraging in interview segments and in the sort of correspondence that we reward by putting on such prominent shows like The Today Show and Good Morning America.
But I think there's a false implication in what you said, that you have to blow smoke up Donald's ass to the point where after it's all done and you don't need to do anymore, when you're out there, there's a you don't have to go like, let's give the Bushy a hug, let's give the Donald a hug, and all the other weird, creepy stuff that he's done, like asking in J-Lo, there's some weird moments about her and her butt where she just looks at him and like, what are you asking me about my butt for? Like, stop it. And he doesn't have to go that far. He can still feed our need for the stuff we talk about on Pop Trigger.
It became his on-screen persona of just being a little bit edgy, and that became creepy and inappropriate.
It's really creepy to watch him in the morning with Al Roker. Because Tamron Hall has to play like, all
yeah,
right,
you can tell Al Roker
kinda...
hates him.
Yeah.
Well, they had a little bit of a blow up over Ryan Lochte, because of course Billy Bush, the bro, defended Lochte, another bro. And Roker was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so good.
But ironically, we found some audio tape of Billy Bush right as he got suspended and he was leaving the building. And here's what it said.
You're kicking me out the door. You're kicking me out the door.
That might have been another Bush, but you see my point. Young Turks membership.
I can't tell you how good that feels and how good that tastes.
Find out. TYTnetwork.com/join.